justice in the context of the Commission of the Status of the Women Virtual Booths. And it's really a project that combines, on one end, our value and our charisma. So all the really working with the vulnerable, with the women, and empowering them with this rights-based approach. But at the same time, it combines also economic sustainability and entrepreneurship, both for the sisters community in Africa, where it's important to be sustainable, but also for the program participants, to help them set up their own cooperatives, their own businesses, and get out of the cycle of poverty, being trapped in poverty in many ways. In Kolwezi is more focusing on the artisanal mining community, and in Angola there is a link with the rural poverty and lack of access to market for rural peasants. So that's the introduction. I really feel this is an interesting pilot we need to follow and see how it develops in the future, because could be a good program to replicate also in other areas of Africa, I guess. So I think the project today we will have a short introducing presentation by Andrea Landini, who will describe the project and the model. And then we will have a presentation from Nico, who will explain a little bit how the application of this model in the context of Kolwezi. And then Rita will talk about this project in the context of Angola. And I think then we will have a session of a debate, question and answer, and a final remarks before we close. And of course, everyone is welcome to ask questions, especially the two of you from New York, but also it will be an opportunity for the people in Kolwezi to exchange with the people in Angola and understanding the different peculiarity of the projects in the two locations. So I welcome everybody again, and I hand it over to Andrea for his introducing session.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Once again, thank you for joining, and I'm really happy to be here all together to discuss this interesting model, hoping that it might become another of the long-lasting pillars of the Good Shepherd family. I'll be sharing a very brief presentation trying to somehow illustrate the model, how it has been originally designed and how it has been implemented so far in two countries, and notably we're talking about Congo DRC and Angola, but given its very nature, we really hope it might be replicated also in other countries. Following this presentation, I think that Sarah will be sharing a video which has been shot last November, last December in Kolwezi, which provide us with a little bit of more insights of the projects in Kolwezi. So as said, today I'll try to somehow describe the Good Shepherd social business model. And I think that it's worth to mention that everything has started in 2018 when Christina called us, and she said, we got an opportunity to start up some innovative project in the social business area. The initial spot where the model might be developed was Congo DRC. And specifically, we are talking about Kolwezi, which is one of the richest reserve of very important mineral. And definitely it's a single town which sits upon the largest deposit of copper and cobalt worldwide. nonetheless, the Kolwezi city is still characterized by very important recession, an unemployment rate which is rocket high, and by very spread poverty. This poverty is, as often is happening in the African context, is hitting largely the vulnerable women. And so that's the reason why we thought about an innovative model that should be supporting the vulnerable women living in that area. So what was the need that were initially highlighted by the Good Shepherd International Foundation and later on by the Good Shepherd Sisters in Kolwezi? One of the main needs to be addressed was the social impact. So we were asked to design, together with all the stakeholders of the project, a model targeting three main areas: women empowerment, alternative livelihoods, and human rights. That's very much understandable since we said that the whole economy of the city of Kolwezi runs around mining. So there's no other source of income for the local population. And so building up on alternative livelihoods is a very important need to be able to develop the local communities and fight against the human rights violations very much present in the area. The other need was to keep on supporting vulnerable women working in the living in the area, and one of the main purposes of this model was to foster the women entrepreneurship, to somehow leverage dignified living conditions and support the families, because we all know that most of the families runs with the incomes generated by women. So we consider that it would have been very much important to support women entrepreneurship to be able to fight poverty, which is very much spread in the area. The other need, which is not directly regarding the, let's say, the social impact, but as we will see, is very much linked to the long-term social impact of what we're doing over there, is the financial sustainability. The idea was to develop a model able to somehow diversify the source of funds which are needed to keep on working on the projects that the congregation is working on. So the idea was somehow to start generating profits to be able to become less dependent from the standard financing sources. So starting from these needs, we have elaborated, we have elaborated a so-called social business model. So everything started from the very important interest that the Good Shepherd Sisters in Kolwezi has raised, being, I would say, the only organization effectively working in the social area in that specific town. And so most of the companies involved in the value chain of the cobalt were looking, after an Amnesty International call against a human rights violation in the area, these companies were looking for an implementing partner able to somehow implement projects that would have gained important results in the area of the social human rights. So the Good Shepherds Good Shepherd Systems in Kolwezi were able to collect these important funds from the private companies, and we have proposed a model to start production in the fields of agriculture and fish farming with the aim of selling our products, and with the profits that would have been generated, the idea is to diversify the usage of these profits, and the model is based on a 60% dedicated to the support of the Good Shepherd Sisters general program, so addressing the need of diversifying the financial resources available, 20% to be dedicated for the development of the local communities. So we're going to see that after the training cycle, that the beneficiaries are supposed to take under this program, they'll be receiving support in terms of inputs and technology to start up their own commercial venture, and then 20% will be dedicated to reserve funds. To, I mean, somehow support further investment for the social business venture. As we said, and I think it's very much somehow we should discuss today, the model is focusing on women. Why? Because women are the main players of the project, because within the social business farm that we are running in Kolwezi, all the associations that are partnering with us are led by women. So women are very much at the center of the activities that we are carrying on over there. The other main point linked to the women is the fact that the know-how transfer is at the base of our project. So through a day-to-base training activity, we are transferring know-how, and I would say innovative know-how in the agricultural and fish farming area to the beneficiaries. And as we said, with the idea of supporting the beneficiaries to start up their own ventures. And then we are focusing on women because we have started working on spin-offs and integration of these social business ventures. And the vulnerable women already involved in the social business projects are collaborating with us within the value chain and transformation. So we are getting them involved in packaging for the food that is produced. We are involving them in the sales of the products that we're producing. And so the idea is to keep on generating social impact with the social business itself, but also through the value chain integration together with all the other social business, the other social programs that Good Shepherd Sisters in Kolwezi are running already. How we have built and designed this project. Everything has started with a preliminary analysis. We've been on the field, and together with all the colleagues in Kolwezi and in Rome, we have analyzed the social economic context. we have elaborated a needs assessment, and we have mapped all the stakeholders. Following the preliminary analysis, we have carried on with a more detailed feasibility study, both concerning, let's say, financial and social impact forecasts, but also technical analysis, because this social business model is very much focused also on technology transfer. So also from a technical point of view, it was important to properly assess the project. Then we have developed a very well detailed implementation plan and an impact measurement framework. And I'm really happy that our colleague Nico will be, our speaker today, because he is, as said, head of the monitoring and evaluation in Kolwezi. So he understands both the very nature of the project, but also the important aspects linked to monitoring and evaluation. And that's the phase where we currently are. There's the project implementation. And so, as said, we are providing a training and know-how transfer program, and we are somehow supporting our colleagues in Kolwezi in effectively managing all the activities, because we should keep into consideration that there are a lot of complexities linked to this project. There's complexities linked to the production phase, but we also have to think about all the marketing and sales aspects of this project, which is quite new to Good Shepherd, standard, let's say, operating procedures. So it's something that should be somehow built together, and I would say also very much adapted to the local context. Just to spend a couple of words on that, after working 3 years on the project, I think that we can say that the opportunity is there. There's a lot of room to, perform effectively. All our staff is responding very, very good, and I think that we are on the right path to achieve the results that we have set. Still talking about the model, because about the project, both Rita and Nico will support us. But talking about the model, the final phase is a complete handover to the local counterpart. So far, there has been a support of international experts, technical international experts, to foster the development of the project, but the very goal is that within a very reasonable time span, there will be a complete handover to the local organization, which is in this case talking about DRC, the Good Shepherds Bom Pastor Kolwezi, talking about Angola, Bom Pastor Angola. But the idea is to empower completely the local structure to run on its own the project. As we said, where we are now, we are in Kolwezi from 2018, and we have started a very similar project in Angola. Then we have started discussing, and I would call it pipeline projects, in Kenya, Burkina Faso, and Madagascar. So the idea is, if the model proves to be effectively working, to replicate the model in different countries. That's to us quite a significant value of this model, because the idea is that the model should be replicated in different countries while through a proper customization. So Andrea was saying it before. While in Kolwezi, for instance, the room for the success of the project is the completely absence of local production. So we are focusing on production. In Angola, the situation is quite different because there's a lot of production, but the main gap is the access to market. So applying the same model while targeting different, let's say, line of the value chain might allow us to replicate the same model in different countries while addressing the same challenges. So we really hope that these two projects will prove their feasibility and effectiveness, addressing the challenges that we're targeting, to be able to make it become another pillar of the Good Shepherd's activities throughout the African country. That's it from my side. I think that, as we said, there will be another chance to discuss it in details. If we got any question, I'll be very happy to discuss it with all of you. If we're fine, I would suggest to have the video that has been shot in Kolwezi, which allow us to have a better insight of what we're talking about. So thank you very much for listening.
Thanks, Andrea. I think Sarah will launch the video in a couple of seconds. And in the meanwhile, I welcome whoever came. I can see Sister Taskila, Susan from Kenya joined. So welcome to this session for the people who managed to come in. And I can.
Yes, I want to ask. Simply ask. I want to ask Andrea if you can please. Okay.
Okay. Okay, the video will be coming soon. And also, Winifred is here. She just came in. Thanks, Winifred. Thanks for joining.
Tukaanza kwenda na mama mkarie na mkuu wangu akingari bebe na mkuu wangu na papa wangu. Natavuna na nesha mama lake shina takulisema bebe na yata lobana. Sengine shibote mimi niko na ria njala, yeko na ria njala, mama yeko na lokota maibwe. Wakati ingine mama anapusa maibwe, tunalala na njala na dadangu ule anafaa kushareti banakuwa na mbebe.
Mukariere muko maisha mbaya, maisha ya huwa maungu. Milikuwa kama shipate hapa shipate batoto batakura je, kumbe nikaibe tu, kumbe nifanya hata bundumba njo nikurie kama shipate ile shiku niko na waza tabia kujiua nifanye je. Kumbe Mungu alifanyaka mubaya kunyumba juu ya nini? Niko nahangaika pakuria niende mukariere shipate, mimi naanza kuhangaika na batoto, mimi naanza kusukuma batoto shimwendeni maisha paka ya kuwa maungu ya bwiji batoto bantu kufa, bengine babwana bale kufa sana huku kwenye tuko na ba mingi paka babwana bakufa jo bale tuko nabo na batoto hapa tuko nabo ni batoto babwana bari tukufa mkariere. Hakuna programu ya kusema itendelesha kumbele abina ako. Hapa Mungu anasaidia bon pasteur anetuchunga bien. Tuko nafunza kuvuka bankuku, kuvuka samaki, kuvuka bambuji, bangulube, bambata na bandendo kurima tukuyuwe. hapa tunayua kulima, atuibake tena makuta yangu nineipatia paka mukulima na kuvuka. Jo ile ninapatia makuta batoto beko nakuria sante full, tuko bien hapa. Kule miye miritoka kwangu kufamie chifunze batoto hapa banaanza kufunza. Mina shanga sana na mina pikia Mungu asante. Hata mina lukula nitatosha mukakesi. Mimi nenda kwa hospitalo bananitunza. Hata mtoto, hata bwana mwenyewe kale ka wenyewe niko ne epargne keko na keko niko ne kachunga nifua nini niyenge nako. Kama mina yenga na mimi nitakuwa baye.
Yes, thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Sarah. It was a very touchy video, very touching. And I think with this video, we can also appreciate there was been someone behind him, whoever was in charge of the realization of the video. I don't know if you want to say a couple of words, Sarah, but I think it's been really a well done video, which gives more our words are beautiful words, but if you can see the video, things change the way you can empathize with the people you're seeing in the video. So I think it's also good to produce good material. Sarah, if you want to say a couple of words on the video, then we go on with the presentation.
Just to say that this was a beautiful film produced by a video maker that make some sort of photo reportage about the impact of the project, especially focus on Chakwishi and Maisha activities. And I think that I agree with Andrea. I think you all agree with me that with the images, the stories, and is authentic stories, and you can see. You can see that the current situation is not, the problem is not solved, because I mean, women are forced to work into the mines, children as well. But through these activities and through these initiatives, like social business can be really make a difference in a community. The lives of these people can change, really. They can start having a good nutrition for the children can go to school, and women have now, and the family have an income now. So, and I think that through the films, through the images, that you can see directly the impact.
Thanks, Sarah. So now, as we continue, I will invite Nico to give a short presentation on the project in Kolwezi. Say more of what Andrea and the video has already gave us as an introduction. Thanks, Nico.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. So I will start sharing the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as Andrea was explaining, the social business project got started already in Kolwezi in 2018, and we named it Chakwishi, which I will explain in the next slide. So this is a project by the Good Shepherd International Foundation and Bon Pasteur Kolwezi with the technical support of Think Global. Chakwishi is in Swahili, Chakula kwa Kuishi. It's an acronym for Chakula kwa Kuishi, which means food for life. Chakwishi is the innovative project of a social agribusiness aimed to develop sustainable and locally owned social enterprises in artisanal mining area of Kolwezi. So it's being implemented in partnership with local organization, which is Bon Pasteur, and international organizations, which I think Global and the GSIF, Good Shepherd International Foundation. We have got what Andrea was explaining as the business model, which is our opportunity for success. It's to have a first module with additional module around the social business. So in the first module, we aim to have a lot of funding, a lot of investment, which is going to generate more modules around it, which are going to be women-owned enterprises. So with this model, we are aiming to have a project that is helping women to start their own project. So this is the initial project which we are first piloting, and then we are going to see how we create some additional small projects to support individually owned project by the women. So as Andrea was saying, this is possible through our approach of 6% to support the general BP program, and 20% will be allocated to support local community enterprises, and 20% that are going to be invested in the reserve fund of Bon Pasteur for its sustainability. Currently, we do have the project is being implemented in Maisha Farm and in Chala. These are the two communities around Kolwezi, one which is at 20 kilometers and the other at 15 kilometers of Kolwezi. So the activities that we are implementing include agriculture and fish farming. Also in the future, we will look at, we have planned to start egg farming. So our goals in the short run include to fill the gap of agriculture food in the market. So in Kolwezi, there's a lack of, as they've been explaining by Andrea, there's a lack of production, which there's a big market for food, but there's a lack of production. So the project aims at filling this gap. And also, we are targeting to transfer the know-how to the women involved in the project. We are also aiming at improving food security for the families in the local communities. And then in the long run, we are looking at introducing quality seeds. We are also trying to transfer the knowledge to the young generations that it is possible to live a dignified life out of the mines. So the project is also aiming at removing children from the mines thanks to agriculture and food provision to their families. We have identified a set of activities that are being implemented based on the findings that we had through our researches and our regular assessment. As you can see here, we are presenting, we have 80% of the population in Kolwezi that is dependent on mining activities to make a living. And most of the food that the families are eating in Kolwezi are coming from abroad, from neighbor countries like Zambia, which is at almost 500 kilometers from Kolwezi. And with this, it has become very hard. You can see that there are families that sometimes spend nights without eating. So this project has identified agriculture and fish farming as the main activities that can be implemented so to solve these issues. So the results that we are expecting with Chakwishi include having families not just producing for their subsistence need, but also producing surplus to generate income after selling it in the market. And we also want to strengthen locally owned entrepreneurship in terms of livelihoods. The project also is including gender. Our approach is to have more women-led families that are being involved in agriculture, so they can provide for their families. As you could see in the video, the lady was saying that most of the families in the artisanal mining are women-led families because some of their husbands have died in some ways due to the mining activities after the pits are collapsing. So also one of the results is to have a business model that is promoting collaboration and partnership among local and international stakeholders. And also we would like to have as a result a business that is a social business which includes profit, but the profit for non-profit aim, for non-profit purpose. Currently, we have succeeded to implement various activities, and in the preliminary phase, we have succeeded to make data collection through surveys and meetings, and they were more focused on selling prices. We have explored selling prices, and also we have explored the market, the equipment, and some civil works. Also, there has been the assessment of the soil. This has been conducted thanks to the support of Think Global with its experts that came in Kolwezi, helping our agronomists to assess the quality of the soil that is going to hosting the project. The other activities during the preliminary phase include agriculture activity evaluation. So this is what we have done currently is to have to see the quality of the soil and try to see how we are going to maintain a continuous production of agricultural crops through 3 bands. And this is being assessed according to the intensity of the different crops. We developed an activity plan since 2019, and it included construction and rationalization of 40 hectares, and which was targeting to have 390 tons of agricultural products. And the work plan also included the transformation of the area dedicated to fish farming by the construction of a system of 24 ponds. As I will highlight it in the next slide, we have managed to have 12 ponds already installed, which are operational. To date, we have managed to make some massive cleaning from plastic and garbage on the plots, We have succeeded to remove the roots and displaced trees, as you can see on the photo. We have also made some construction and activation of composting areas to produce organic materials for mulching. We have also rehabilitated and upgraded the road that gives access to the farm in Maisha. And some other civil works include rehabilitation of existing buildings. We have included a warehouse for equipment and products following the most modern construction criteria. We have also rehabilitated the building for our staff on the field. Other agricultural key activities that we have put in place include seeding and planting. So we have planted a part of medium intensity band and a part of natural herbs area. So there are different crops that we have planted already, and we have harvested, including maize, nightshade, morel, as you see on the picture. This is morel, and all of this food is destined to be distributed to the communities.
Nico, sorry to interrupt you. In the interest of the time, because we are running a bit late, if you can wrap up and conclude. I don't know how long is your presentation, but we'll have to keep the time schedule as well. So maybe you can wrap up with this nursery quickly. Just go through the slides quickly so we can pass it over to Rita briefly. Thank you, Nico. Okay. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. Let me wrap up. So here you see we have a nursery for baby plants, which is in Maisha farm. And we have succeeded also to provide a training to the cooperatives. About 35 women have attended the training already. As you can see here, the Chakwishi has also been is going to be very helpful to help us cope with COVID pandemic effects on food security. So we have identified a project that is going to supply farmers with agricultural emergency kits. We have identified 600 households that have been impacted by food insecurity due to COVID-19. So all of these are going to benefit from emergency kit, and including techniques to continue production during crisis like COVID-19. Here you can see the ponds. So we have constructed 12 new ponds out of 24. And we have provided our staff with a training and with a new fish feeding program. So as you can see here, we have got some materials that we have put into the ponds. We have also succeeded in purchasing materials and purchasing feeds for fish. We made also some production last year, and which have been very helpful to generate income. As you can see here, our team, including community members, are learning from this is DG, our consultant. So he's teaching our community members and how to detect bugs in the plantation. And we on this photo you can see we have our team here and the construction enterprise which is building the ponds. So this is a meeting that stakeholders have conducted lately this year. So thank you very much, and sorry it has taken longer than I expected. I thank you all for listening.
Yeah,
Andrea.
Yeah, thanks, Nico. I mean, you could see how far this project is moving, because it's been already implemented for the last couple of years. So it's not just in the startup phase, but it's moving along with already some production going on. I think while Rita can start, maybe Nico, you can stop sharing, so Rita can start sharing. As she starts sharing, I really want to say that when I saw the image of the, congratulations, Nico, when I saw the image of those cooperative of women, you know, with those onions in their hands, which means, you could see really the faces of women that I could read the empowerment in their faces, and also see the results of the products in their hands. So, you know, the project is really producing practical results, but most of all is changing life of people, which is the great things we do as Good Shepherds. So this is now, Rita will start her presentation and about the Kimia Kietu project. She will also say what this means in local language, because everything starts with the local identity of those projects. You are mute, Rita. You are mute at the moment. Thank you. Mute yourself.
Okay. Thanks to everyone for being here. I really appreciate to share this experience, and I am happy to hear from our sisters and brothers in Congo who are already advanced. We are just at the beginning of this small step that we want to do in social business, and we are very grateful to Landine's expertise and all the GSIF support we have. So, Good Shepherd Sister in Angola, as you know, we have been in war for many years, and we lived many years in Kamabatela, where the community developed. All our background as Good Shepherd is based almost in the north of Angola. Later on, we start our expanding in the other places of Angola, but most of the focus where we started the foundation is in the north, especially in Kamabatela. So living with these people in Kamabatela, we witness the challenges and the life of those women. Because of the war, many of those women were left alone as a widow, taking care of the children and facing all the challenges to raise their children. And for that, they have become like uneducated. They have never get a chance to go to school and to get a higher education. And so the main thing that they only know to do is the agriculture, but they do it with a very artisanal way, and what they produce, they don't have enough income. And another challenge is there is no market for selling. And some of this, they living in rural villages, they don't have transport to come to the town to sell what they produce. So this challenge, as we do the pastoral activities, we see their challenge, difficulties that they go through. So we decide to help them with this project in agriculture. And so this is one of the main reason that we see that the most of women from this region in Angola in general because of the war, but especially in this area where we are working, the women are the head of the families, and they struggle a lot to get the income. So after knowing the beauty and the good and technology that is being developed in Congo, we really wanted it also to improve our way of working and to give the answer to this need in the north of Angola and in the whole country, because we want also to extend our program in different places. So with the Congo, we got the name of Chakwishi, and then few months later we started discussing, and we said that the Chakwishi for us is a different language. In Angola we speak a different language, and each language has its own meaning. And for us, we have chosen the name of the project as a Kimakietu. Kimakietu is our product. It is something that we own, and the people and the community also own. And there is a proverb in Kimbundu, in local language, which says, who carries what it is on, he will not fail false. He will take care of it, he will protect and will develop. So our goal is that these people and this community will own the project, and we want them to grow and to develop the way of doing, move from the artisanal activity to the technical production that will bring more income and to help the families and all those rural women in Angola.
Rita, I ask you to be a bit brief in the presentation because of the time, so you can go through it and then we can generate a bit of question and answer session for the next few minutes.
Yeah. So we have chosen the goals of ending the hunger and providing food security for women, and also for the empowerment for gender equality. And as we wanted to make it good, so in 2019, this team, Landini and Gigi and Andrea and another man they joined us in November 2009 to do the need assessment in the very remote areas of Kamabatela. Also, we went to another place in the south of Angola where we are. This is the population where we are developing some of those projects. Most of those kids, they never went to school. It's a very remote and rural area. There is no teachers, there is no formation. Teenagers are all, as you can see, some of the women who are there, all already hanging with the babies. They are 14, 16, and this is a challenge for us. And some of the sisters, we are coming from this area, and we feel the desire to help these people because they did not have a chance to study. So we went with for the need assessment to develop the project. This is also another visit to the other rural areas of Angola. We are with the community developing the need assessment to see really what they want and what will work for them in each place. And this project, we started already with a very pilot small project with a group of women in Kamabatela who already have been there, and they started growing peanuts and beans and maize. So the smaller space, we have 6 hectares of land near the community of the sisters. And we started this project, they are growing, and this is one of the ritual that we did, the blessing of the tools of agriculture in 2019 when this project started. And this is the way that they sow the seeds. This is the planting of the peanuts. Is one of the products that is more used in the north of Angola for food and for breakfast, and it's the common food. So beans, peanuts are one of the products that women want to produce. When you go there and you ask, which product you want to develop? Peanuts, everywhere they want to plant the peanuts. So this is one of the things that they really produce a lot. And here they are preparing the seeds, opening the shells of the peanuts, and then they go to the field and plant it. This was the preparation of last October. And now they are already harvesting the product that they planted in October. We are very lucky in Angola. This area of the north, there is 9 months rain. So they can harvest 3 times a year. And this, if this is well organized, we want really to work with the technology to help them to have more income and to produce a product that are in the short duration, 3-6 months product collection, so that they can have more fruits. And this is one of the field where there is a 6 hectares where they are producing the peanuts and maize and sweet potatoes. This year they planted 2 hectares, and then next year they will work in the other area. So this, we asked them some questions, what they wanted to do. Why you have decided to join? And they say, we are going through a lot of economic challenges. So we want to work hard for food security in our families. Peanuts are good product for sale. Its revenue help us to provide the supplies for our household and pay school fees for our children. We are happy and grateful for this opportunity that the sisters are empowering us. It makes difference in our lives. And then they also ask what are their dreams. And they said that we are dreaming of an economic flow to get out of poverty that oppresses us. We wanted to improve our livelihood. And this is a small video where they are harvesting the peanut. It was taken last week by one of the sisters who are accompanying them to collect the peanuts.
O que esperam para ser empoderadas como mulheres economicamente?
Precisam se formar e precisam pagar as propinas que nós pretendemos para o pensamento que estamos ali para este produto. Vendemos para conseguirmos qualquer coisa que pode nos alegrar no nosso interior.
Qual é o produto que gostariam de dar rapidamente neste local?
É feijão, junguba e milho e batata. E tomate.
Pois, para isso funcionar, qual é o vosso compromisso pessoal para que se torne realidade?
A continuação que nós queremos.
Ok, mana, Susan?
É a mesma coisa.
Continuação?
Sim.
Ok.
Continuação.
E empenho, não é?
Sim.
Okay.
So they want to improve, and they want to continue with this project. They want that it grow for them to improve their life.
Continuação do trabalho, não é? Empenho de todas.
And they commit themselves to continue with this work and do their best, so they will improve and will empower themselves with this project.
Rita,
and these are all what they are already harvesting in this 2 weeks time. All the peanuts that they already collected from the November plantation. Thank you.
So thank you, Rita. Thanks so much to everyone for your beautiful presentation. Just to leave a little bit of space for a bit of a debate or question and answer, I like to use these last minutes for who is available. Of course, we have gone a little bit beyond 5 p.m. in Italy, and but I like to hear from all of you What do you think, especially who is coming from outside? You can see our sisters from Kenya connected, and some more people, Taskila from Nepal. So if you have any questions, any comments, any remarks you want to do about this initiative that goes across border, and I can say it's the first kind of regional pilot we are doing in 2 countries in RIMOA in Africa. Anyone? Claire, please go ahead.
Thank you. And first, I want to say, you have to turn something off, Elaine. I'm getting echo. I don't know. Take the computer out of the room. I want to say congratulations. It's just wonderful to see. One of the curiosities that I'm left with, and Rita touched a bit about it on Angola, is really what is the reaction of the women when initially they're presented with these social business projects? Like, is it enthusiasm, disbelief, and what kind of support or interventions are needed to keep them on this pathway of sustaining the project personally for them? And I'm sure that'll come up in another conversation. I'm not asking for it to be answered now. It's just like a kind of real curiosity I have about the real interactions and relationships that go on. And otherwise, I have nothing to say except congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Claire. A very good, beautiful question. Maybe I'll leave it to Rita to say a few words. I have in mind a couple of remarks on that, but I don't know, Rita, if you want to say a few words on how we keep the women motivated to go on and to trust this new project, which is a different way of doing things from what they used to work and do agriculture.
So one of the points that is really the need that in which they are really the challenges that they are facing, and they go by themselves, like digging in a small corner alone, small space, and they cannot sell what they produce because it's very little for them. So when we invite them, we present them this project, they agree because they have a hope that with this project they will improve their own life, and they trust on the sister. They trust. They know that the sister will not cheat on them. The sister have interest for their development. We have already other programs that are going on that are helping others, people who already get a job, people who already are changing their way of life because of linking it to the groups or to the association that are being oriented by us. So this is like for them, let us also, we don't know how to do like a big business because they don't know how to write and read, but agriculture is their area. So we will improve our way of working. So they have a lot of hope on this. And they see a future if they can sell the product that, and then one of the things is the transportation. They don't have a transportation. So if the association bring the transportation for their product, we are planning to buy all their production from them. They already get the money, and this gives them a lot of enthusiasm to continue. Yeah.
Thanks, Rita. I think there is a question something. Winifred, raise the hand, and then Elaine, please. Winifred, and then Elaine.
Good morning from New York. It's just afternoon now, and good evening to you in Kenya. It's just a marvelous moment to see you together on this platform at CSW65. it goes beyond my wildest dreams. And I must say I was very touched by the programs that I've seen illustrated both in video and through PowerPoint. And I think there are two things that stand out for me. In terms of what we saw from DRC, I saw on a number of occasions where even a young child talked about her sister becoming a prostitute. And I heard of a woman saying that this is what she thought about, becoming a prostitute or committing suicide. So this is illustrative of the depths of despair that the people that you are working with experience and live in. And I heard Rita talk about our produce. I won't try to pronounce it in Portuguese, but our produce. And our produce, that term is symbolic of the ownership of people around just basic access to food. And yes, we want to grow peanuts. So the opportunities and the hope that is offered through the programs that are being presented through GSIF and through the sisters throughout the world, they're immense. And the theme of this CSW65 is all about women's participation in decision-making. And the second part is about ending violence, gender-based violence in particular. And I myself had been a bit put off by the theme because I felt it didn't address where we are, because the participation is about at government level, in parliaments, women on boards of corporate boards, etc. But what I have seen, and I saw it also in another book that was published in Asia Pacific, Not My Mother's Path. I saw the leadership, and I see it here this morning again, the leadership that once women are given the opportunity that they take in advancing, first of all, their own lives, and secondly, wanting a better life for their children. So having said that, when I went to the Philippines many long years ago, I thought peanuts grew on trees. So one of my first exposure in the Philippines, they were great for exposure, was out picking the peanuts. And I couldn't believe it, that they grew in the ground. So that brought back that memory for me. And I, at the policy level, talk a lot about social protection and wanting governments and every government to implement social protection for the people, and social protection floors in particular, which are supposed to be for the people who are most vulnerable and who are being left behind. But I also want to acknowledge and recognize that you, in the ministries you're doing and in what you have presented today, are in actual fact implementing social protection floors. And you are engaging the women and their communities in a very basic need for survival in the production of food. And we know food insecurity is huge throughout the world. So what can I say? I'm in admiration. Thank you very much for all that you're doing. Christina, you're somewhere there in the background. Oh, you're in front of me, I see you. You're there. To members of the board, to the sisters in Kenya, to Taskila, who has come all the way from Asia to be here. And what can I say to the people who presented, to Rita, Andrea, Nico, Sarah is there, the second Sarah is there. What can I say? Listen, this is of the essence of empowering people. And I'm almost in tears as I'm talking to you, because it is tremendous. So thank you very much. My prayer and my support is always with you. and keep up the good work. And those business ventures are the way forward. And, you know, being able to produce food and bring it to the market. When I heard about the food coming in from Uganda, it's the same here in America. All our food comes from someplace else. So how can we get out of the agribusiness, which is destroying the planet? How can we move away from the whole global financialization to put power back in the hands of local people, of families, of communities? And you surely are doing it. And thank you very much.
Thanks, Winifred. Thanks for your words. And Elaine wanted to say a few words as well, please.
Yeah, I think Winifred has really said it all. It's just been wonderful. It's just seeing who has come together, and this is Good Shepherd. All, you know, the sisters, the men, the women, the participants in the programs, the children. This is Good Shepherd, and I just am very, very impressed. What really strikes me is when we look at Kolwezi and what has happened over the years, and how far. I mean, really, I remember seeing the pictures of the, you know, pulling out the trees from, you know, cutting the trees down and pulling the roots out and starting, and how far it's come. And then looking at Angola, who can say to them, you know, my brothers and sisters, you will help us. You will, you know, you've done it, and we can too. I just feel that these partnerships that we're developing across borders are really, really, we are going to help each other, but also there are so many things that come out of that. Peace, greater help, stability, sustainability. So I just want to say a very big thank you to everyone for all that you've accomplished and how much hope you give to each of us. I'm just very touched, and I have to say I'm speechless because it's been so impressive. So thank you.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you, Ellen. And I think Rita, Christina wants to talk, but I don't know. Maybe Rita, you wanted to say something after hearing the words of Winifred and Elaine. I don't know if you had some feedback, or maybe you're okay, or also Christina wanted to say a few things, but maybe you want to say something, Rita?
Yeah.
First.
I really, you know, this is the work of all of us, you know, because we are at the grassroots, but alone we can't do anything. All this work needs a lot of support, and financial support is one of the key challenges that we find the women are finding in their lives, and for us also to bring about the ministry in a professional way. We need money, and the money is coming from GSIF, from all of you, and from your knowledge, your experience. Give us light to continue to work in this field. So we are there doing what we are doing, but also in different way, you are there doing it with us. So for that, we are very grateful, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Rita. This is really beautiful to hear. And Christina, you also wanted to say a couple of words, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, congratulations to the RIMOA team. This is the first opportunity to really come together and present as a region. And this, I think, it's a matter of great pride. I really want to congratulate you all. Winifred, I was recalling in my head some times ago when you were mentioning that at the UN level, very often you received sort of criticism from other NGOs or other stakeholders saying, well, but sisters do development in a way that creates a lot of dependency, and you're still, you know, champions of a charity model. And we all were somehow trying to figure out what would be a sustainable way out of that model. There's a lot of organizations that deal and crack their heads around this. I think today we've heard very concrete, at times very technical, very professional examples of what could be done to break that model of charity and dependency paths and provide the tools, the real tools that can show a way towards empowerment, self-sustainability, self-reliance. So it's still a long way, and we can appreciate the gaps that still are, and Rita was mentioning them. Resources to start up these projects, know-how and expertise. You've heard from Andrea at the very beginning, the level of sophistication that it takes to set up a business model that could be sustainable and viable, and it's not yet another dependency path for these people. And the need didn't come up today, but it was in between the lines of what Nico presented, the need to involve multiple stakeholders and not just work within our projects. And so look out for the markets, the government permissions, the big players of the local economy in the context of Congo, but then in the context of Angola. So a capacity also to look outside our zone of comfort of our programs that used to be very limited in their view. And I want to also address the sisters in Kenya who are now looking at these two programs. And I hope these ideas around how to build sustainability and empowerment can somehow be discerned and reflected and taken over in other contexts. It's not yet the final silver bullet to break paths of dependency and unsustainability, but I think we've seen today real serious, rigorous efforts towards that, and a lot of resources pulled into that direction.
Okay.
Thanks, Christina.
Thanks, Christina. I think your words are also very, very pertinent to what we are just seeing today. I want to invite everyone else who has last remarks. From my end, I can just say personally, it's really, this project is really connecting two things: financial sustainability of sister women, participation into political sphere, you know, having an active role into their life, as well as I think for the sisters is also a way to adjust their mission according to the needs of the so for example, agriculture or food security has not been a classic Good Shepherd program, but in those contexts is really making the difference, because as you lift them economically, you lift their self-esteem, and then they can engage at community level and political level, so to contextualize also in the context of this forum. Yeah, any final remarks? I don't know if anyone wants to have a question. I see the sister from Kenya, or anyone, some names that I don't know, Titiana, some more people is joining. If you want to say a few words or express your thoughts, it's the last final remarks, and then we will probably close shortly. I think it's Teresi, yeah, Celine. Karibu. Your mic.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
I would just like to congratulate Kiama Kietu and Chakuishi in Angola and Kolwezi for the great work that they are doing. And actually, this platform is a very great opportunity for co-learning from each other. It's a good sharing that is enlightening us, even here in Kenya. And as Christina said, it's a call for us to try and see how sustainable our projects can be. So as we run these projects, we also think further than just expecting to be supported, but to think at how can these people be able to sustain their lives even without our presence. Yeah, thank you so much. And congratulations.
So thanks, Celine. Thanks so much. I think we are reaching the end of the session. I also want to thank again someone who, without him, we would not be here presenting this presentation. I think Andrea Landini has been an instrumental technical resource with his experience that comes from the business world, but embracing all our values and our charisma, I think is a good fit to make these two projects happen. So I think I also want to really express my gratitude to Andrea, and as Andrea can also enlarge this gratitude to Gigi Casagrande, who's been also this our friend and really an agriculture expert who really combine eco-sustainable solution for agriculture. Without fertilizers, we do everything naturally, also to be very green and eco-friendly as we do business. So what else? I think it's time to clap our hands and just to congratulate also ourselves all together, clap our hands and close this session with this celebrating this moment of togetherness as good shepherds.
Yeah. Thank you.
So thank you very much, and we'll be together again over the week, which is just started. This is the first day. I've been already online twice, so I leave the floor to the next session, and we'll catch up over the week with the other events we are in. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrea. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.